This one's going to be a little bit more difficult than the rest have been, but I think I've got it figured out. So join me. Who Killed Who? Scream 6. All right, so like I said, with a whopping 14 bodies in this thing, bigger than any Scream body count that came before it. I think also judging based off the fact that you've seen the thumbnail, spoiler alert, would be a little ridiculous. The movie has been out going on 4 months now, so if there was any spoiler, I apologize, but I'm certainly not the only person here on YouTube utilizing those type of thumbnails at this point, at this juncture. So yes, apologies for that if that happened to be an issue. But yeah, I think it should go without saying, going forward, this being the newest Scream film, spoilers ahead, folks. All right, so like I said, 14 bodies. I guess technically 4 of those bodies are ghost faces, with a 5th wannabe, I suppose. So yeah, it's pretty crazy because there are 3 killers the majority of this thing. There's 1 killer and 1, I guess, was soon to be killer at the beginning of this thing as well. And you know, not even including the main ghost faces, still 11 bodies. It's a lot to get through, so let's jump right in. We're going to first talk about Laura Crane, the opening victim. Really quickly, I guess, for those who don't, maybe you haven't seen me do one of these before, essentially I have all the victims through the movie lined up here with the 4 people who were doing the killings. I guess really 3 and, you know, just kind of a hanger on there. And I'm going to assign one of these ghost faces to each victim, to give you a visualization of who I think killed who. Once again, just my opinion. So like I said, we're starting things off here with Laura Crane. Now, it's pretty obvious with this one. If you've seen the film, we see the kill go down, and we see the ghost face behind this attack, who is Jason Carvey, who is getting his one and only victim, was responsible for the death of Laura Crane. We saw the kill go down. We saw the mask go off, which popped me in the theater immediately with a big what the fuck, much to the dismay of the lady sitting next to me. Then we move on to Greg Bruckner. Now, here's the thing. Greg and Jason look to be killed by the same person, as far as I know, honestly. Like I said, this one is one that is pretty difficult to pin down, but you have to take into consideration that Quinn is at the apartment at this point in time. Ethan is at the frat party. And it just seems like the only person that could have possibly made at least Jason's kill, and I think by proxy Greg's kill, would be Wayne Bailey. Just given where everyone is, I think it's pretty safe to say that Wayne Bailey or Wayne Kirsch, because I'm really not, I guess he would be a Kirsch. I think he's definitely responsible for the kills of the potential ghost faces of this film, Greg Bruckner, Jason Carvey. So we move on here to the bodega scene. And the thing about the bodega scene is I believe that Radio Silence has actually come out and admitted that the bodega scene was also Wayne Bailey. You just kind of, when you consider the fact that, you know, it's pretty clear the killer here knows what they're doing. Bailey, being a cop, probably responded to a lot of armed robberies, probably knows how this works. Given the fact that Radio Silence has told us the fact of, you know, how the kills went off in a very effective, I guess, way as Ghostface, Wayne Bailey is really racking them up here at the beginning, because it is the same exact Ghostface, obviously, through the entire bodega scene. 3 more bodies added, 2 bodega customers and the bodega clerk. So at this point in time, other than Jason's attempt to start a new Scream film, or a stab film, I guess, in his universe, Wayne Bailey is really kicking some ass right now. We're up to 5 kills for him, as far as I see it. So now here's one that's very interesting. Sam's therapist, Christopher Stone. It is honestly anybody's guess. Looking at this thing objectively, I mean, he's completely isolated from, it doesn't involve anybody in the main cast. I think this one for me just really comes down to who's the mastermind, because this is an important kill. It obtains important information, and why send anybody else to do something that is that important? I'm going to have to go Wayne Bailey again, and I think the general consensus amongst the internet is that this is Wayne Bailey as well. I have heard on occasion people say that this was Ethan, but just given the circumstances, it looks to me like Wayne Bailey really takes the brunt of at least the first half of this film, with 6 kills thus far. So now we're moving on to Paul 2.0 here. And this is another one where we have heard from Radio Silence that Ethan was responsible for the apartment attack. And, you know, given that I think it would be fairly easy for him to create an alibi by going to Econ and, you know, making sure to make contact with a couple of people so his alibi will stick, and maybe slipping out the back door before, you know, anybody would notice, and going and committing the apartment attack. So I will say, especially since, if I'm not mistaken, Jack Champion, the actor who played Ethan Landry, is legitimately under the mask for these scenes. I think that it goes without saying that we can definitely give Ethan credit for the apartment attacks, which include Paul 2.0 and Annika. So we'll paste them there. Now, you may notice here that I have a question mark. And that's because there's a victim in the film that we never really see. There's a victim in the film that not only we don't see, but no one really ever talks about. And that is Quinn's body double. They talk at the end of the film about having a faking Quinn's death and putting a fresh body in her place. So if it's a fresh body, that means that one of our Ghostface pals had to kill someone who looked at least somewhat like Quinn to be that body double. That being said, it's never really expounded upon who did it. You don't see the person. You don't know when it happened. You assume it happened close before the apartment attacks because, once again, quote, fresh body. And I'll be honest with you, since we have so little information about it, I think the easiest solution is probably Quinn, because I think it would probably be the easiest for her to potentially lure one of the females that she knows that maybe looks a little like her back to the apartment, or dispose of her in some shape, way, form, or fashion. I just think it would be easier for Quinn to try to lure someone into a scenario like that. But there's very little evidence. It's not even really talked about a whole lot in the film. So just based off what very little we have, I think Quinn's probably the best bet. And also, Quinn is 100% the best bet for the murder of Brooks, Gail's new boyfriend, as well. We know that she was the one who, once her death was faked, we know that she made the attack at Gail's house. So she attacked Gail, she killed Brooks, she attacked Mindy. We know that. We know her and Ethan both attacked Chad when we really found out that he had those super Dewey powers, you know? Apparently Dewey passed on his 9 lives to Chad. Unfortunately, Dewey ran out of those 9 lives in Scream 5. But goddamn it, Chad's keeping that legacy going. So there it is, folks. There's the victims in this film, and it looks like to me Wayne Bailey takes the day with 6 kills, Ethan Landry with 2, Quinn Bailey with 2, and of course Jason Carvey up here with the 1 single kill, bringing our body count to where it is. And of course, as most of us know, Quinn and Wayne Bailey taken out by Sam, and Ethan Landry, at least it looks like he was taken out by Kirby, but you never know, man. That TV's can't trust that TV. I mean, Stu's still walking around out here somewhere, right? 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 All right, folks. So there it is. That's where I stand on who killed who in Scream 6. It's a bit tricky. It gets a little bit difficult. But a lot of it, like I said, has been confirmed by the directors. A lot of it is, you can kind of put people in place and see where they would, why they wouldn't be able to obtain these kills or why they would. So I'm pretty confident in this list. And like I said at the top, this will officially bring this series, at least for now, at least until maybe a possible Scream 7 in the future, which is definitely happening. We just got to be patient. But for now, this is going to be the end of the series. So, as always, drop your comments down below. Tell me how wrong I am. Tell me how right I am. Agree, disagree. Drop your thoughts down below in the comment section. Also, while you're down there, do all that other YouTube jazz by subscribing, maybe turning on notifications if you really dig what I'm doing here. Leave me a like. Check the description section for links to follow me on Twitter. Support the channel. If any of those things sound like something you want to do, that's how you do it. So, until Scream 7, I'm Bran from Bloody Breakdown, and this is who I think killed who in Scream 6.